Welcome to Good Morning Football. Beautiful view from Lower Manhattan. The clouds not as pretty as they were yesterday, but it's New York on any given day. You never know what you're going to get. We're presented by Intuit QuickBooks. Wednesday, November 28th, almost December, guys, and almost time for Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys play host to the Saints. A lot of big playoff implications there in the NFC. Come on in. Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt.
Hey now.
Hey.
How we living?
Feeling great.
Feeling great.
We just had a big Rocky conversation. Huge Rocky, and it's carrying it. We got to go to Creed 2 right after the show. I'm in. Let's get some popcorn. Let's go.
Somehow it ended with Will Smith in Wild Wild West.
Yeah. That
Rocky to Will Smith.
For it. I don't know.
Commercial breaks are great.
The best. We need a paywall.
Shout out to our audio guys who pump music for us in the commercial breaks.
Awesome
Mike. Job by them. Underappreciated storyline of the season. It's time for the lead block.
Let's go, lead block.
Because we do have that huge matchup to chew on. It's coming your way tomorrow night. Saints-Cowboys right here on NFL Network. And we know the offenses will be the focus leading up to the game. So let's hear what the defenses have to say about them, starting with friend of the show, Cam Jordan.
I keep saying, how similar the running style is between, Elliott and Mark Ingers. The only difference is, Mark and AK are splitting time, and that's a marquee running back. But in terms of fluidity, in terms of the way he's running downhill, he's elite. He's up there. So it's going to be up to us to try and get a wrangle on him.
Jalen, does going against an offense like this make your job harder since you're the quarterback of the defense, making sure everybody's lined up right and get the right checks?
Well, the biggest thing is, not rising to the occasion. It's about sinking to, the level of our preparation. So me being the leader of the defense, I have to, make sure that we stay true to ourselves and who we are.
Defense knows they're going to try to force some turnovers. Drew Brees just 2 interceptions on the season. The NFC playoff picture is going to change probably a lot. Saints on top, 10-1. They have the head-to-head over the Rams because they beat them in the Dome earlier this season. Bears are there. And the Cowboys at 6-5 trying to make waves, stay ahead and on top of the NFC East. So earlier in the show, we asked this question: who needs to win more, the Cowboys or the Saints? Now let's open it up to the rest of the league. If we look at the entire Week 13 schedule, all of the matchups, which team needs a win?
Looking at the Packers, we just had a conversation about players that you don't want to face, and you picked up the Packers stick. And, of course, the first thing you think about is Aaron Rodgers, and that's the main reason that I'm saying the Packers, because Aaron Rodgers went out there and he said, we're going to win this game. We'll win the next game.
He didn't say that. He said that they can win. He did not guarantee anything. That's what we got to do.
Road that we got to win. Shakes, come on now. You know what I mean.
Peter's splitting hairs.
Yeah, you're splitting hairs because the point I'm trying to make is if I sit up in front of a locker room and say, listen, we got to win the next one, we got to win the next one, got to win the next one. The first thing the reporter will say, are you guaranteeing the win?
Are they?
And that's what Aaron Rodgers is pretty much saying. And he's not talking to the media. He's not talking to himself. Who is he talking to, guys?
Teammates.
He's talking to his teammates like Aaron Rodgers always does.
He's talking to Equanimous St. Brown.
Talking to Equanimous. He's talking to everybody. So for me, I'm looking at the Packers at 4-6-1. And them being in a position right now where they are on the outside looking in. We made the joke that they're sitting in line waiting to get in the club. Now, I don't even think they're in the line. They're in the car trying to decide if they're
Uber went the wrong way.
Invited to the party. So this is the game where if they don't get this, just go ahead and book your tickets. I'm talking to all the players. Go ahead and book your tickets for your families. Vacation's around the corner. You want to get a jump on the prices, right? Well, go ahead and book your tickets if you guys lose this game. Packers need to win.
Even if they win 5 in a row, they would be 9-6-1. That might not be good enough this year. There are so many good teams. So Packers need to win. I'll tell you a team that has hit the skids out of nowhere.
Go on.
The Carolina Panthers, to me, I'd be very concerned because you look at what's coming up. They have to beat the Buccaneers this weekend. This is the game you win, you get right, you improve, you break this. They have 3 really tough losses in a row. You talk about that Steelers loss on national television getting blown out. Then to bounce back, go for 2 in Detroit, lose to a Lions team that is not going anywhere this year. And then this past weekend at home to lose to the Seahawks when you're leading for much of the game. Tough losses. They need to get right because we've said it a million times on this show. 2 out of their last 3 games, the Panthers, are against the New Orleans Saints. A team that swept them last year, not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs as well. Carolina, now or never, going up against a Buccaneers team that you have to beat. No reason the Panthers shouldn't go into Tampa and win. And if they lose 4 straight games, that is, and then you're going to have the Saints coming up, it might be all she wrote.
Yeah.
It might be all she wrote. What's up, baby?
What's up, baby? They haven't won since What's Up, Baby.
I'm looking at the games this weekend of what would produce the biggest shockwave, like for us on the show. Obviously, if the Cowboys beat the Saints, that'd be big.
Huge.
If the Raiders beat the Chiefs, obviously incredible. But what if the Browns beat the Texans? I'm going to say the Cleveland Browns would be. This is a massive, historic week for them, and here's the reason they need it. You know, we've got caught up so much in the Baker and the Hugh and the handshake, and we've had a lot of fun with it, and I think there's a lot of fodder there, even on a deeper psychological
I know where you're
level.
going. Go ahead.
But the Cleveland Browns have won 2 games in a row, guys. It's pretty incredible. They haven't done it in years. They won a road game for the first time in over 1,000 days. Greg Williams seems to be working. Maybe he keeps that job. I don't know. But the only fault I have of the weird handshake is that he's taken away that the Browns have actually won, and we're seeing incredible team efforts like this. So if the Cleveland bleeping Browns, with the 0-16 one-time Browns, break the 8-game winning streak, that will take any storyline about Hugh or any fodder or anything and say, no, they're a real team. They're 5-6-1 now, and look out for them down the stretch. So it takes them from being a charity case to a comedy routine to an actual challenge in the AFC. That would be massive. Browns over Texans.
I love it. We're believing in the Browns. We're excited. They've got something going there. They are a football team, you just said. We believe the Panthers can be streaky sometimes. They could come back. They could win and get it done. We believe that even given the record, the same record that the Browns have, the Packers share that same record. Somehow we believe they'll turn it around. They have Aaron Rodgers, yet we don't have that same belief in the Chargers, who are sitting here at 8-3. That's why it's most important for them to get a win here this week to prove and dispel the entire mystique, the entire theme, their identity as a team that's a National Football League is that they cannot get it done. This is who they are no matter what they do. So this week, up against the Steelers, up against Big Ben, who was drafted the same year you were, and Nate, without Melvin Gordon, Phillip Rivers has to put this team on his back and go out there and get it done. And then maybe it'll change the narrative, because the narrative, you guys believe what you're saying. I know that you 100%. Do. Nobody's believing, a lot of people not believing in what the Chargers could potentially get done. Even Brett Favre coming out and saying Phillip Rivers might be the most underappreciated quarterback in the National Football League. Favre's on your side.
No doubt. The gunslinger.
You just preaching right there.
I know.
Gotta believe.
We're talking Rocky. I got all Rocky on you guys.
You got
Thursday night, Breeze and the Saints trying to soar past Dak and the Cowboys. Saints, Cowboys. When it's on.
It's on.